As the Central American migrants who've made it to Mexico City take some time to rest, plans are being laid for their next moves. The nearest US border is more than 1,000 kilometers away, and no one here knows what awaits them when they arrive. As their numbers grow in the stadium where they are being housed, international authorities are doing their best to deal with this growing humanitarian crisis.
We
estimate that more than 10,000 people have crossed Mexico's southern border, of which 1,800 have asked for refugee status. The rest are going to continue their route with the caravan. 5,000 to 6,000 are here in Mexico City, and more are still to arrive.
For at least those 1,800 migrants the United Nations identified, establishing a new life in Mexico is preferable to the uncertainty of what awaits them at the US border.
The border at the moment is very difficult to cross because so many caravans are arriving. There's little chance of remaining in the U.S. So at the moment, we're looking for permission to work in Mexico for a while. And as time goes by, I'll be able to get my Mexican papers.
But for the majority, according to local authorities and most of the migrants CGTN spoke to within the caravan, the United States remains the ultimate goal.
Our plan is to continue. It makes me scared. But he who doesn't risk anything never gets anything.
While some conservative politicians in the US have demonized these travelers, we found dozens of sympathetic Americans here on the ground offering their help. Tristan Call from Nashville, Tennessee, is part of a contingency from the American migrant aid group Pueblos Sin Fronteras, which has been guiding and advising the caravan since its journey began in Honduras last month. He says his main focus is giving solid advice to the migrants on what to expect if they continue north and outlining their option to stay in Mexico.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to get people information that's as up to date and as good as we can about what's kind of this accelerated and more open process that Mexico is trying to do with work permits and residency, what they're likely to face so that they're able to make some of those decisions.
While Americans may be helping here, President Trump's administration has made it clear that the migrants are not welcome in the United States. More than 5,000 troops have been deployed along the border to bolster the National Guard and other Border Patrol forces already in place. And Trump has said he's prepared to send 10,000 more troops, if necessary, to keep the migrants at bay. As caravan members decide on their individual futures, the US border prepares for their approach, and the decisions made at this critical pit stop may determine how many migrants ultimately arrive. Alasdair, Baverstock, CGTN, Mexico City.